Charge jumps are one of the coolest mechanics in Mario Kart world, and it's crucial to know how they work and all the cool things you can do with them. I started out Mario Kart world the same as many people. I had no clue how to use charge jumps, and they seemed like a volatile element to me. Since then, I've done hours and hours of research and testing to figure out what this technique is capable of. For those of you who don't know, a charge jump is when you hold down the drift button, but you don't hold a direction on the joystick. This starts a charge jump, and as you hold it for longer, you charge it up to blue, orange, or rainbow. Once you release the drift button, you do a little hop and get your boost, with each level making it last for longer. There are 5 main categories that charge jump techniques fall into: faster driving, airtime, rails and walls, shortcuts, and items. You need to know all of these strategies to go as fast as possible in a race, and stick around until the end for a weird thing that you can do with charge jumps that many people don't know about. With the number of intermissions there are, I'm sure many of you would like to know how to drive faster than everyone else on them, instead of just holding A and steering. First, you need to know that spamming charge jumps is not faster even in water. This is because you slow down when you charge a charge jump, and the boost you get isn't strong enough to negate the speed loss. Fortunately, after testing things for a long time, I found 4 ways to go faster when you're driving, especially on intermissions. The first way involves boost panels. When you touch a boost panel, you almost instantly get boosted up to a very high speed. While in this speed boost, doing a charge jump will not slow you down like it usually does, and we can use this to get an ending boost without losing too much speed charging it up. I tested this, and adding a charge jump is faster if you do it right. I found 2 different methods to save time. The first method is where you start a charge jump and time it right to ensure you land at the start of the boost panel. Then release your charge jump as soon as it's charged. The second method is where you start a charge jump slightly before you touch the boost panel. Then release your charge jump as soon as it's charged. The second method saves more time than the first, but if you don't release your charge jump literally as soon as it charges, you will lose more time than if you fail the first method. Practicing this method in time trials can drastically improve your chances of pulling it off in online races, as it can be inconsistent at times. The second way uses the startup boost you get at the beginning of the race. Start your charge jump a little bit after the start of the race, so that your startup boost will end just after you release your charge jump. Unfortunately, this technique saves almost no time and is way too risky to do in an online race. However, if you're feeling lucky, go ahead and try it while you're practicing in time trials. The third way adds a charge jump to a rainbow mini turbo. After you end your drift, wait a bit and then start a charge jump. As soon as it's charged, release it immediately and get your boost. This technique, like the startup boost method, both don't save enough time for it to be worth it, but if you practice it a lot, it can be really consistent. Finally, the fourth way uses the speed boost you get after you trick to not slow down that much when charging a charge jump. While you're in the air, hold the drift button. That makes you start a charge jump as soon as you land. Once it charges, release it and taunt your competitors as you pass them. Charge jumps can also help you save time by reducing the amount of time you spend in the air. Limiting air time can be useful because air time is slower, as the air is constantly pushing you back, and your tires aren't on the ground to help push you forwards. Start a charge jump and release it so the hop at the end makes you barely clear the top of the ramp, reducing your air time by a lot. This can be really helpful, especially on tracks like Dandelion Depths or Wario Stadium, where not doing this makes you go way too high. Charge jumps can also help you get more airtime, which can be useful for certain shortcuts or faster techniques. You do this by releasing your charge jump as late as possible on the ramp, right before you leave the ground. This hop, combined with the upward slope of the ramp, makes you go way higher than normal. Charge jumps can also be used to get onto rails and walls, helping you take a faster path. However, since charge jumps slow you down, you should only do this if the path you are trying to get on saves enough time. Even if it is just a regular rail or wall, it can still be faster if you do at least 2 tricks on it. Charge jumps are a key factor in many shortcuts. A few of them require you to use a charge jump to ride on walls. An example of this is on Whistle Stop Summit, where you start charging after the trick off the rail. Aim for the grass patch and release it as you hit the grass. Aiming for the left wall and then tricking off to the right one should get you across. This technique of using a charge jump to cross a gap is also used at the beginning of Dry Bones Burnout, at the end of Great Question Block Ruins, and at the end of Desert Hills. Aside from riding on walls, charge jumps can also be used for hopping over and on top of walls or obstacles. On Koopa Troopa Beach, you can start a charge jump and use a mushroom. As you hit the wall, release your charge jump, causing you to leap over and land on the other side. This shortcut is very useful and, with a bit of practice, can be very consistent for online races. You can also do something like this in Mario Circuit, where you start a charge jump and release it holding left to land on the wall, and then as you get to the end, trick off to land on the ground. In Bowser's Castle, the world record leaps over this section, saving a lot of time. However, this is insanely hard, so an easier technique was discovered that is still very fast, just not as much. Start by releasing a charge jump onto the wall, and then trick onto the rail. Wait until you get to the middle of the rail's last curve, and then trick onto the right wall. Trick off and clip the left wall, and wait until you auto-trick on the arrow. Then do left tricks until you land and hopefully make it over to the other side. There are way too many shortcuts to list in this video, but there are many guides that teach you how to do them, so go check them out. Items are key to winning races, and combining them with charge jumps can win you even more. Mushrooms are one of the best items for taking shortcuts, but what if I told you that adding a charge jump can save a lot of time and make it completely free? You don't even have to practice this one. I tested and found that there is an optimal way to do this, but varying from it still saves a good amount of time. Use your mushroom and then start a charge jump almost simultaneously. Right as it charges, release it, although you don't have to be as exact as with other techniques. If you start your charge jump anytime closer to when you use your mushroom, you will save less time or no time depending on when you started the charge jump, so try to be as exact as you can. There's way too many shortcuts you can do with a feather, and even more when you add charge jumps. There's a great video about that and more details in the description. Now for the weird thing I mentioned earlier. Did you know that you can do a charge jump while going backwards? And it turns you around when you release it. I hope you like this. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe for more Mario Kart World content.